Hi, my name is Eugene Kavuma, 6 letters each, balanced person, and this is my year in review. My year in review is going to be best of 3 things. 1, the complexity of the brief. 2, the execution of the brief. And 3, the reception of the brief. So how good or how easy was the brief that we were given? How well did we do it? And then how did the public receive it? So a very first one for me is the NBS Sport. So this was, I think, around June, July, when we went into NBS Sport and did a couple of changes, from introducing new programs to also shifting programming around. And I think that when I was watching the very first episode of the evening, because Sports This Morning had now moved to Sports This Evening, so watching that and realizing that the back screens that we had created were too lit and were making the whole set look a particular color. And then working with James here, who it was 7 p.m. and we had stayed around just to catch that. It allowed us to sort of get that review really quickly, create a solution, and then send it to the studio. So the next day, the color was different and the clothing and etc. There was no spillover courtesy of the graphics that we had made. My second one is the Pulse, MTN Pulse radio. I love the youthfulness of it, the vibrancy. I really loved the interpretation of the sound waves, and then using that as elements that then stretch across the whole brand. And if you can almost tell immediately that this particular brand is energetic, it's vibrant, it's for young people, and it was done by a young person, which was really cool. My third one was the Sanyuka. So we were doing a bit of a repositioning of where the brand is going to sit, and then that required such subtle changes in how it is presented, from redesigning what the studio looked like, what the backdrop of the studio looked like that people were going to be speaking against, to the announcement posters. So I found that interesting. It was so subtle in its approach that if you didn't know it had been touched, you wouldn't actually notice. Then I also appreciated what we did for one of our clients, Ecobank. So Ecobank needed to go outdoor and do an outdoor moving billboard, and it needed to look smooth, it needed to look clean. It also needed to give the impression that for the client that they were targeting, who is the emerging affluent. So the imagery used, the level of the font, that movement, the music behind that piece was also really nice. I really liked that. And then I especially loved what we did with our final campaign of the year, which was UB40, featuring Ali Campbell. Man, that was some high pressure thing. So from working on, this campaign was multi-layered. First, we needed to work on it without knowing what we're working on. And so we needed to create teasers for a campaign that we did not know what the campaign was about. And we kind of lucked out, I think, that when we did a bit of a brainstorm and we just wanted to create a disruptive piece, so that segment was exceptionally. And I love that it's time to listen, it's time to blah, 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 blah. All of that kind of speaking into the concert, grabbing people's attention. Then once we actually figured out who was coming and what we needed to do, the switch from one feel and look, black and white, grunge, kind of constantly scrubbing against each other, to a very well-known standardized look and feel within the reggae world, and then shifting there while maintaining a touch of elegance and class. So when you look at the logo mark, UB40 featuring Ali Campbell, where Ali Campbell sits, the gold, the texture in the gold, all of that just telling people that this is going to be a class event. So for me, these are just bits of my year in review. I'm sure that I would like to hear what people out there think. If you've touched a brand and you've done something epic with it, or if you have an answer or a question around some of the work that we have done from the projects that I've mentioned, would love to hear from you.